What's up, peeps? Welcome back to the AEW Insider. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benz. It's been a while. I had a lot of personal things going on, plus getting ready for WrestleMania week. They canceled my Airbnb. I had to scramble for a hotel. It's been a mess. Definitely check out the podcast, though. I make sure I put one out every week. It's the AEW Insider on Spotify, Anchor, Google Play, iTunes, Breaker Radio, what have you. Definitely check it out. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm always posted on there under the AEW Insider. Come join our groups, the AEW Insider and the WFW fan group on Facebook. We love to have you guys. Let's get into some AEW news. Alright, AEW, Cody has been filing a lot of trademarks again. Some of them being the American Nightmare, the American Dream, and Dusty Rhodes for his father, the Prince of Wrestling, which I think is going to be his name in AEW, his persona, his new one, Bash at the Beach, Battle Bowl, and more. He said he's not trying to take them from anybody, you know what I mean, or put them out of business or even really use them. He just wants his father's cattle back under the stable. Saying he wants the things that his father made and created or had a big part of, he wants under the family name, which you can't blame him. Eve Wrestling tweeted to him and said they have a pay-per-view every January named Battle Bowl and would like to do it this January. Could he turn his head for the month? They asked him to look the other way. They said they did not want another cease and desist letter like WWE sent them over a pay-per-view they had called She-Viver Series for women. WWE are such dicks, aren't they? Cody replied to them, I do not mind at all, have a great show. Meaning he had no problem with it, you can use the name for it, yada yada. Wish WWE was more like that. Hopefully when Vince goes for XFL, Triple H, I know Triple H is going to open a bunch of doors and work with everybody, so it's going to be awesome. This week's episode of Road to Double or Nothing was awesome. It was for episode 8. I swear it keeps getting better every week. I mean that truly. It kicked off with the Bucks showing up in Mexico and winning the AAA title from the Lucha Brothers, and then cutting a sweet promo after. It then had Cody in the ring, and like a bunch of AAA wrestlers jumped him. He said his knees messed up, but he would fight him, and like 6 of them jumped him and left him there. It was crazy. They cut to the AEW offices, and there was a somber mood when they heard what happened to Cody. They had Brandy showing her newest signee, which is Allie from Impact Wrestling. You know the Demon Bunny, Good Bunny, Bad Bunny, Allie? She's in AEW now. They're playing 0 games. They're going to be huge. It's too sweet. They have their scouts out there, their ears to the ground, and they know when contracts are coming up, unhappy people in the business, and they just go after them. They're not taking any prisoners. Allie is a big get for the female division. They let her shine a little bit on this episode and told her story, how excited she was when she got the news of being part of AEW. They also showed Sandra, I should say, I'm sorry. WWE seamstress for years is a black woman named Sandra. She's really, really awesome. She is AEW seamstress now. She's been doing a costume for WWE years for like eons, WWE. I don't know why they let her go. I heard she retired, but obviously they fired her. She's working for AEW. So the costumes are going to be lit, and they got Sandra under their belt. Boom, AEW confirmed. Sandra. Alright, excellent. Let me see. That's for the female division, yada yada. They show Brandy on the phone with the Ace of Belts. His name is Dave Milliken. They were going over the design for the AEW title. You can make out a little bit of it from the back of the paper, but not much. But you said, are you sure it's going to be as big or bigger than that Mid-South North American title? And the guy assured her he would be. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be the crown jewel of AEW. That belt's going to be too sweet. They cut to a promo of the Lucha Brother Furious, talking about their history with the Young Bucks and how they vow to get their title back, yada yada. It's going to be amazing. It really is, that feud. Alright, what was I going to say now? Oh yeah, there was a big event over the weekend. It was Pro Wrestling Tees, just to throw it out there. CM Punk appeared, Marty Scurll appeared. I'm telling you, man, CM Punk is definitely going to join AEW. And his t-shirt, his new t-shirt that they're selling is called Summer of Punk. Even though it's the Punk and the summertime's coming up, why would you just have a shirt that says Summer of Punk if he's not going to be doing something big for the summer? It's going to be the Summer of Punk. CM Punk confirmed, back to AEW. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. I think I just threw out the paper for this week's episode of Elite, which I apologize. Alright, being the Elite we'll get to this week. It was good as always. It kicked off with the Bucks again, which winning the title in Mexico. Cut to the journey of how they got there. They had Brandon Cutler tagging along with them and filming them. He was their good friend growing up. They all started in wrestling together, and then Brandon Cutler actually went and made a family, and the Young Bucks made it. He got back into wrestling the last couple of years, and he's really good. He was in that Over the Budget Battle Royal last year, and he had a good showing. So check him out, Brandon Cutler, and I think he's in it again this year. It showed them at the airport, and Nick and Matt Jackson noticed they had missed calls from Chris Jericho. If they're anything like the message left Cody at last week's episode of Road to Double or Nothing, it's not going to be good. SCU has always cut a great promo, a great skit. Kid, an up-and-coming wrestler, asked them if they would watch his match, and they're still acting all Hollywood, bougie, and big time, and they said they're too busy, they're too famous, they got stuff to do. If he's a big star one day, he might watch. Then the camera cut to the back of the locker room, and Nicole Foley was standing there. That's right, Mick Foley's daughter, Nicole. She told him that they changed, she shook her head, and she walked out. I bet you AEW scooped her up, and that'll be awesome, because WWE actually passing her, the idiots, and she's really good. I think she's going to be wrestling for AEW, and that's another big get for AEW. Nicole Foley, the AEW, confirmed. Who knows? Let me see. Alright, then they show the Bucks listening to Jericho's voicemail. Jericho's on their voicemail trying to split them up. He's telling Matt that he's the true star, the big star, he should go on his own, and he's doing the same with Nick Jackson, so that's not going to be good. He's up to his shenanigans again. It showed the Bucks doing a commercial to hire a wrestler for a librarian, and Cody. I thought it was a joke at first, but they're really looking for somebody to play a role of a librarian for AEW. So if you would like to, definitely make a 60-second video and send it to them on Twitter, Facebook, what have you. It's legit. You could be the next librarian. There's some crazy videos out there already for people who are trying to. Let me see. Matt asked Nick if he got a call from Jericho, which they knew about if you listened to his message. Nick said, yeah. Nick just said that he wished him luck and congratulated him on winning the titles. So neither one of them are telling each other that Jericho's trying to split them up, which isn't good news. They snuck in a Jericho cruise plug in a very cool way. It was funny. They cut back to SCU. You can't get enough of SCU for me in an episode, but it showed them as Lucha Star, talking to Lucha Star Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara is the guy the last couple of weeks who comes and talks to everybody. Everybody's all nice, and as soon as he walks away, they say they can't stand him and they hate him. Well, the same thing happened there. They showed Adam Page real quick getting in a full gear shape, which is very funny. They showed the Bucks winning the title again for the second and third time this episode. Like, enough. What the F? And then they showed the new signee Jimmy Havoc backstage. MGF entered and interrupted a conversation that Jimmy Havoc was having. He said he can't believe AEW signed him. Havoc was about to beat him with a chair and was stopped. MJF said, do you know, we want to keep your job, do you know who I am? All I have to do is tell Cody and you're gone like that. And then, the whole time they're cutting to Cody in his hotel room, and his ears ringing, and he's like that, like he can hear somebody talking about him. And then MJF said, I wonder what that Mark Cody's doing right now. I bet he's planning to put himself in a title match to win the AEW title. At that moment, they did the infamous Cody Rhodes shot when he zoomed down the hallway, and he's got his hand to his ear, and he heard MJF. How? Who knows? But he heard him, and he had a crazy look on his face. So it's not going to be good news for MJF next week, and it's about good his gigs up, especially when he did the Brandy last week, what have you. It wasn't cool. Let me see. This week on Raw, I just want to kind of skip past this. Paul Heyman promised that him and Brock Lesnar would be there. They were. Drew McIntyre came out. He was talking that talk until Seth Rollins hit him from behind with a chair. Revenge for what he did for Roman last week. Brock and Heyman taunted Seth, and they went backstage. They showed Lashley beat Balor for the IC title, which was crazy. I can't even believe they did that before Mania. It's going to be him and Leo Rush against Balor and a tag team partner of his choice. He chose Braun Strowman across. It was a crappy throwaway match. A cool spot though was Leo Rush actually hitting Braun Strowman with a frog splash. That was really cool. In the end, Braun and Finn won, of course. They showed Ronda Rousey going heel last week, and her and her hubby arriving backstage. A ref and a ton of guards stopped her and told her they were not they were going to be there to stop her from going rogue again. She laughed at them and kept walking. They had the Alexa Bliss talk show, and the guest was Elias. Elias claimed that he was going to be the musical talent for WrestleMania this year, which I doubt. No Way Jose came out and snuck him for what Elias did to him last year. They went to the ring, they fought. Elias hit him with an elbow off the top rope, which he almost fell off the rope trying to do, and then he hit him with the drift away for 1, 2, 3. They had Kurt Angle and Chad Gable fight, which is really cool because both of them are ex-Olympic wrestlers, and it was just an awesome match. Like for Gable, that was a true honor. Of course, they let Kurt win at the end. Gable would destroy him in this day and age, but it was very, very cool they let him do that. That type of match they should have at Mania instead of having a fight Baron Corbin, which is so stupid. They had the women's champs come out, Sasha Banks and Bayley, talking about how they're going to see the Iconics tomorrow on SmackDown. I can't wait for the Iconics to win the belts at Mania. They are the true champs. They should have won the belts already. What was I going to say? They had that throwaway match of Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews, which was trash. Let me see. I'm sorry, I lost myself now. On the Chad Gable match, blah, blah, blah. They had Beth Phoenix come down, actually, with Natty to Sasha Banks and Bayley in a ring. That's where I was at, Sasha Banks and Bayley. Natty came out and Beth Phoenix. Beth Phoenix actually announced that she was coming out of retirement, and they were going to take the belts off them, which were insane. Then Tamina came out and Nia Jax, and they beat all four of them up and left them in the ring lying. It was crazy. They did a Mojo Rawley promo. I can't wait for him to come out already. Mojo Rawley's going to be an awesome heel, which we already know. They had a Ricochet match, which was boring. It was King Rick versus Jinder Mahal. Ricochet won, of course. Ronda Rousey came to the ring talking that talk, yada yada. She fought Dana Brooke. She literally pretty much broke Dana Brooke's arm. It took mad referees to get her off. Then that security who told her that they weren't going to let her get away with stuff surrounded her right by her husband on the outside. Her husband grabbed her from the audience and they took off backstage. It was super stupid. They could have had such a match with just Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch, and it would have been great. But throwing Charlotte into it, making Rousey bad, it's just dumb. WWE drops the ball almost every time. I don't get them, seriously. Alright, they had a throwaway match, like I was saying, with Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Who cares? Crews actually got a victory, though. They had Batista actually cut a promo on Triple H for their match. Batista was at his house in Florida. He said he hates Triple H because he used him as muscle, a big dummy for backup, and he was going to end his in-ring career. He said he's everything now. He's famous. He's a movie star. Triple H is jealous. That's going to be an awesome match, honestly. They cut the Braun Strowman backstage interviewing about the guys from Saturday Night Live. Alexa Bliss came up to him and said, please give them a chance. He said he would for her, but if they disrespect him, he will destroy him. That angle for Mania is so stupid. I mean, it really is. Drew McIntyre came out talking that talk about Roman. Seth came on the screen and said, what I did earlier was for my brothers. This is for me. They met on a ramp. They kept fighting. They got in the ring. It was a great match. Then Brock's music hit, so Seth, of course, turned. When he turned around, Drew hit him with the Claymore kick, beat him for the 1, 2, 3. Then Heyman and Brock came out on a ramp and they laughed at him. SmackDown had some great highlights. The Iconics were cheating to win their shot and to get into the three-way match at at WrestleMania. So that's going to be awesome. I love it. They should be the champs. AJ Styles cut a promo backstage on Orton, said he might not have been the house that AJ built, but he's going to be the one to burn it down. KO had his TV talk show, which is awesome. He had Becky Lynch, aka The Man, on, and Charlotte Flair. And he pretty much said, we're not going to be talking here. I go by fight, KO, fight. We're going to have a fight. You ladies hate each other. And they literally beat the crap out of each other inside and outside of the ring. The Miz cut a great promo at the beginning of the show. Everybody's behind him and all that. It's crazy. Miz is going to be the good guy, the babyface, going against the heel at WrestleMania when the Miz is always the heel. The Miz needs a WWE Championship run again. He's the hardest working man in the business. I mean, really. He's awesome. They had Kofi Kingston come out. It was a 1 vs. 5 match, elimination. He had to beat 5 guys for a shot at Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. First it was Sheamus, he beat him. Cesaro beat him. Eric Rowan, huge Eric Rowan, he beat him. Samoa Joe, Vicious Samoa Joe, He beat him, and then he ousted. Last but not least, I'm sorry, I just did my podcast before this. I'm sick of talking. Plus, I talk for a living. All right, excuse me. Randy Orton was the last opponent. Coffee actually hit him with a small package and got the win. Vince came out to congratulate him and told him that he'll go to Mania if he could beat one last opponent. The fans started booing and flipping out. People backstage watching were booing and flipping out. His last opponent, of course, was the new Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan made short work of him, pretty much destroyed him because Kofi was so tired. It was weeks, so now he's not going to Mania, even though we all know that Kofi will be at WrestleMania. All right, NXT, some big news coming out. WWE, as always, dropped the ball with NXT. Well, with spoiler news, they have an advertisement out for a live event either at the end of April or May after WrestleMania and TakeOver April 6th. That it's going to be a champion versus match versus Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream, which lets you know that Adam Cole is going to win that match. They had a 5-way match anyway, which anybody knew. It was a 5-way match against Adam Cole, Aleister Black, Matt Riddle, Velveteen Dream, and it was awesome. It was a 5-way match. Whoever won that match out of all of them actually gets to fight Johnny Gargano for the belt at NXT TakeOver New York. With them advertising that Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream are going to be fighting belt for belt after WrestleMania TakeOver New York. That means Adam Cole is going to be your NXT WWE champ, which I'm so excited for. He is one of the best in the biz right now. His crew is so sick. You guys don't even know Undisputed. A lot of it is. From the indies, like I was talking about, they were Red Dragon. I'll talk about them later. That's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, one of the most vicious tag teams and lethal ever. Roderick Strong was vicious, unbelievable on the independent circuit. With all that talent under one click, if they stay together, man, nothing's going to stop them, especially when they go to the main roster. They might put the Shield to shame, and that's not a joke. That's how good they are. Though? Adam Cole won, and that actually means it's going to be Johnny Gargano, so he's going to be your NXT champ. So choke on that, baby, because I know there's a lot of haters out there. Not here, though. The Undisputed might actually be getting a new member, a female member. One of the USC Horsewoman stablemate, Marina Shafir. She's actually married to Roderick Strong. She's part of the group with Shayna Baszler and the other chick, the 4 Horsewomen with Ronda Rousey. She might be actually a member of Undisputed, which might make sense because she hasn't been on TV with Baszler the last couple of weeks. And that'll be awesome. Pete Dunne's actually fighting that guy Walter from NXT UK. Walter is a big, huge guy. Like, he's over. They love him. I don't see anything special. I think he's crap, but I think Walter's actually going to be the one to take the belt off of Pete Dunne, which is sad to say. The New Day is pulling an angle like they're going to leave WWE. They're on Twitter, on YouTube. Big E cut a video pretty much. He didn't say black people, but that's what he's saying. He could see black people isn't getting far with the company, what's been happening with Kofi shows them where they're at, how far they're going to get, and he's thinking about leaving. Then they showed Xavier Woods talking about his video game channel. He can go do that, and he's going to start looking at other avenues. They want you to think they're going to leave, but they're not, and Kofi's going to get his title shot, so calm down, people. WWE selling their infamous home office and buildings, the Titan Towers. It's insane. They will move the move will take place in 2021. The new digs are going to be absolutely gorgeous and top notch. I can't wait to see where it is and how it looks. But they were in the towers for 34 years. It's sad. They were a very great memory on air and behind the scenes that they filmed there. That sucks. Cena is confirmed for Mania and to wrestle, but we don't know who yet. I think it's going to be Taker. Taker hasn't been confirmed or anything either, and people think he's not coming. But he posted a picture on Twitter with him playing Uno or something with his daughter, one of his kids, and his hair was dyed black. He only dyes it black for when he's coming back for WrestleMania, because usually it's red. And then also at a live event, the WrestleMania truck for WWE actually had his image on a WrestleMania part last week for the first time. So I know Undertaker's coming back, and I think they might have a rematch, hopefully longer than that Cena match last year, which was garbage. Matt Hardy's new YouTube show is awesome. I talked about it in my podcast last week. Check all my past episodes of my podcast out on Anchor, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Breaker, what have you. If you don't see me post a video, definitely check out my podcast. Anywho, it's awesome, his videos. The past few weeks he brought back Big Money Matt. This week he did Woken Matt, voted the Week, and he also did Matt Hardy version 1, which is cool. I like what he's doing on his own, and we know how well it worked out for him and Brother Nero when they got to do stuff on their own with Impact. Haha, it worked out excellent. Impact was just so this week. We had Willie Mack retaining his title. That guy is awesome. I love me some Willie Mack. We also had Moose getting revenge on Trey from the Rascals. The Rascals are awesome. Kudos to Impact for signing them and putting them together, but also letting them shine solo. Good stuff, Impact. Trey had a tad bit to shine with some really nice spots, but Moose was too agile and powerful for him. Then there was Eddie Edwards. Like I said last week, I love the whole team up at Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake. It's very cool. And as I also said in my podcast last week, Eddie Edwards should kiss Sami Callihan's feet for crushing his eye sack by mistake with that bat, because it made him a star. If it wasn't for Sami Callihan, he'd probably be mid-card and still, which he kind of still is. But anyway, Eddie Edwards was talking to the referee. He threw his kendo stick. Eli Drake grabbed it, cracked his opponent in the head. Eddie Edwards got the win. Like I said, their tag team is awesome. I liked it. They cut to Johnny Impact cutting a promo on Brian Cage, saying he's going to destroy him at the pay-per-view. He said the fans don't mean anything to him anymore. The only thing that does is this title and his wife, and they kissed. It was gross. My dog Sami Callahan lost to Rich Swann. Rich Swann is lucky he got to keep that bum X Division title. Sammy attacked him after the match, and as he was about to hit Swann with a chair, Swann hit him with a Trouble in Paradise, a la Kofi Kingston, man. It was a pretty cool spot in that match. Sami Callihan actually spit in his face, and not only was the spit all over Rich Swann's face, Rich Swann actually spit his spit out of his mouth. It was disgusting watching the Impact's top moments. It was awesome. A Giant came out, though, to the ring. It was actually revealed to be the original Sanity. When Sanity started in WWE, they had a real tall guy. He disappeared. He got fired or something, and they replaced him with that fat guy they got now. He's actually the newest member of OVE, and he came to the ring and destroyed Swann. So OVE's got a new member, the original member of, Sanity, which I don't remember his name, but he goes by Madman Fulton now. NWA Wrestling highlighted the Crockett Cup. They had a qualifying match that showed the tag team of Willie Match and Jeff Cobb versus the Briscoes. The Briscoes won, of course. They're the true champions. Jeff Cobb and Willie Mack are awesome on their own, but not built for the Crockett Cup. So the Briscoes are going to get far in the Crockett Cup, if not win it. You already know that. It's going to be a barn burner. Ring of Honor, they had a great Thursday throwback this week. It was Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, which is Red Dragon. They're in Undisputed now, versus the Young Bucks. It was ridiculous. You have to watch it. I'm telling you, Undisputed is so awesome, man. I can't wait for them to get a chance to shine. But that match is great. Red Dragon, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish versus the Young Bucks back in the day. You know they tore the house down. They absolutely did. And then they also definitely check out their other Thursday throwbacks. They got crazy stuff like Okada versus Roderick Strong, what have you. And you could tell how old that one was, because they were saying now this McGinnis was actually doing commentary for them, and they were saying Okada just beat AJ Styles for his belt back. So definitely check out Ring of Honor's Thursday throwbacks, because there'll be people wrestling there you have no idea. Even if you say you're a fan, you don't watch like that. People in WWE who you love now are here and there. They all wrestle for Ring of Honor, and they all shine. Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan, Adam Cole, all of them. Check out Ring of Honor. A little WCW news I threw in my podcast last week. That's right, WCW. Eric Bischoff revealed that when Dennis Rodman was with them, and he was with the NWO, Fort Carmel, what have you, that he was paid over $1 million. Not for one appearance, but all his appearances together, he got paid over $1 million from WCW. So that was a cool little tidbit to throw in. Here's my daughter and I's agenda as of right now for WrestleMania week. We arrive Wednesday, April 3rd. We'll see family, go to dinner, what have you. April 4th, Thursday night at 11 o'clock at night in Jersey, which is going to be awesome. I never went to a pay-per-view that late, but it's the Impact / Lucha Underground United We Stand pay-per-view. So we're going to be at that with coverage. It'll be awesome. The next day, we're going to be going to WrestleCon in Manhattan. That night we'll be at Joey Ryan's first annual Penis Party pay-per-view. The next morning we'll be at Pancakes and Pop Drivers 3. Then we'll be at WrestleCon again that afternoon. That night we will be at the Ring of Honor New Japan G1 Super Show at Madison Square Garden. The next day we will be at the Bullet Club Block Party covering that. Then we will be at WrestleMania that day, which is going to be amazing. And then the following last day, that Monday, we're going to be going to WrestleMania Access. So this is your spot. If you want coverage, if you want to see WrestleMania week, all the events, all the different promotions, what have you, you got to come to the AEW Insider, baby. Let me find out you're going somewhere else, man. Let me find out your boots are. Let me find out. Yeah. All right. Let me see. That's all right for this week's. This week's. See, that's all for this week's peeps. Sorry, I've been away. I got a lot of personal stuff going on, like I said. The road to Mania is going to be awesome. This is your stop, like I said. Trust me. We get a lot of our sources online in our stories and in print from places like Wrestle Talk, Dave Meltzer, Sam Roberts, The Sportster, Bleacher Report, to name a few. Make sure you check out our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Breaker Radio, and more. Also, check out the AEW Insider on YouTube and Twitter. Join our groups, the AEW Insider and WFW Fan Group on Facebook. If you want all WWE news, check out Jabber Jabber Wrestling Universe on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. But definitely, for all AEW news, a cool-ass host who's real, good coverage of stuff like that, and news from all of the promotion, gossip, rumors, roundup, weekly stuff, what have you, this is your spot. Like I said, if you won't let me down, I won't let you down. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will be back next week, and you have to chill with me for after WrestleMania. If you're going to be at Mania, come down and see me. I'm going to have all my equipment. I got my business cards, got stuff to give away, what have you. So come down and see me. We'll put you onto YouTube. We'll make you famous, for real. But definitely come here. Remember, AEW Insider for all your news, what have you. Again, I'm your host, Lee Benz, and we'll see you guys next week, all right? Keep it tight. Peace.